Good afternoon, Sheriff Carmine Marceno. Thanks for being here today. Standing with me, our Major Crime Detectives Unit. Since Hurricane Ian hit Lee County directly, my family members have been out in full force to help the community recover and to rebuild. We will continue to do so. Lee County is 1,260 square miles of land and sea. We utilized all of our assets and the latest and greatest technology to search inch by inch. The Southwest Florida terrain can limit even the most advanced technology with tree canopies and waterways. But we move forward, and we always will. Most of us have gotten back to a sense of the new normal. For some, still missing their loved ones, every day since the storm has been difficult. On October 7th, a well-being check was called in for an 82-year-old Alanka Ness who resides on Fort Mye Beach. Most homes in that area were completely destroyed. My deputies, along with the partners from other agencies assisting in the aftermath, responded, but were unable to locate Alanka. After several attempts to locate Alanka, she was entered in as a missing person on October 15th. On Tuesday, remains were discovered off of Tropical Shores Way on Fort Mye Beach by a contracted debris removal company deep within the mangroves. These areas are impassable by boat, and they're not visible by the air. Once they located the remains, they immediately called the Lee County Sheriff's Office. Our Major Crimes Unit responded to investigate. We will leave no stone unturned. Working through the night with our partners at the medical examiner's office, we were able to identify the remains as Alanka Ness through dental records. She was one of 2 people still missing from Hurricane Ian. I hope this discovery can bring the family some closure. The total deaths in Lee County suffered from Hurricane Ian is 74. Our thoughts and prayers are with them all that are still affected by Hurricane Ian. As time moves forward, the scars left by Ian will remind us how far we've come when we work together. We will build back stronger than before, and it takes all of us. The great residents of Lee County will have that, they deserve that, and we will all deliver it as a team. I'll take some questions.
Do we know the cause of death?
The cause of death determined by the medical examiner was going to be accidental drowning.
How long did it take, you mentioned the attempts. How long did you spend on each attempt, and what was really, the call for action this time?
So it's a good question. Let me explain something. These are not numbers. When I say the cause of death, when I say death, when I say it's 1 or 74, these are people's family members. This is someone's mom, grandmother, sister, brother. It's not a number. So obviously, anytime we receive information, we don't wait 1 second. We jump on it immediately. And we utilize the latest, greatest technology, drones, helicopters, boots on the ground. The problem is, when you're combing 1,260 square miles of land and sea, the water comes through, things move from all over, there's debris all over. These mangroves are covered and canopied with greenery. There's debris, and as we move forward, we are going to find many things: furniture, shoes, clothing, jewelry. I mean, it's inevitable that we're going to find things as we move forward. But I will tell you this: when someone calls the sheriff's office because they need assistance, because they want us to look into something, we don't wait 1 second. This is very unfortunate, accidental drowning. And again, it's someone's loved one. So most importantly, we will never stop working for the great residents of this county, good human beings. We want to make certain that we bring closure. 1 death is too many.
We still have 1 person missing. Has there been an update? Any updates?
We are still, our Major Crime Unit is working every single day on the one person missing. Again, it's unfortunate. We talk to the family regularly, and we want to bring closure. We pray that we can find that person. We went from search and recovery. It's a process, and one person is too many. So we pray for the best, but we never stop trying to deliver that closure to the family.
Who is that person again?
That person is, I believe it's Mr. Hurst.
Is LCSO working perhaps with other local agencies in the recovery process, or state agencies, and what does that partnership look like?
Well, I'm forever grateful for law enforcement, not only just in the state of Florida, from my brothers and sisters in law enforcement, but from nationally. People came from all over to help us. When you get out on the ground after a major event like Hurricane Ian, there are no words to describe when you look and you see the pure devastation. Buildings that were standing were sand and 6 or 8 inches of rebar. It's very hard to identify addresses. And a lot of these calls that we're holding for service, the people live out of the state or out of the country. So it's a very, very big investigative process when you have to identify a particular address, who lived there, were they living there during the event, did they leave, who were their family members. I mean, these detectives worked around the clock. And a lot of times I say this, I'm the guy that delivers a message as the sheriff, and I'm proud to play a small part. The heroes are the people that are out there every single day, my family members in law enforcement that are making huge differences. Thankful for the partnership. Everyone came together. And most importantly, again, I know we focus on numbers, but the new norm, I mean, thanks to our great Governor DeSantis, bridges were put up, immediately. And we are getting back to business and the new norm. And I think this county has rebuilt it and recouped very, very quickly. The scars are there. We understand that. People are still hurting, but we're going to do everything we can to help each other because we're in this together. We're in this together. So I'm very thankful for the partnership. When that bell rang and unfortunately Ian hit us, we couldn't have done it without all our fellows, brothers and sisters in law enforcement. And I'll tell you, this community, the residents, they're the greatest residents I've ever seen. They all came out. You had strangers helping strangers. Random acts of kindness. That's what life is really about.
Could you talk about where she was found in relation to her falling? And I know it took about a week, it sounds like, before she was actually reported missing, or 2 weeks really before she was declared missing. Could you talk about the timeline there?
So when we talk about the timeline when someone's reported missing, first of all, we all know that 45 miles an hour sustained winds, we pull off the roadways. When we came back on, we deployed resources all over the county so that when we came back on, we had resources in place to maneuver immediately. We had over 6,000 calls for service that were holding. Now, about 2,000 of those calls approximately were welfare checks, people that were concerned about their loved ones. And we don't let them wait 1 second. So all hands on deck. This, unfortunately, the deceased was found about 0.16 miles from her residence. And in her area where her residence was, it was completely destroyed. This was a really heavily affected area. Her husband was found in close proximity. So both were found within that 0.16 mile area. Again, her being in the mangroves, completely covered, tide coming in and out, debris, trees and greenery. Very difficult, and it's very sad. This is not just, these are 2 bodies. These are 2 loved ones. These are 2 family members, and my heart breaks for them. It really does.
Sheriff, have you been able to speak to the family? Any words?
So I have not spoke to the family. My family members have, and in constant communication, and I know that the family was relieved for closure. I can only imagine the devastation that they go through when you lose a loved one. There's no words that can describe it, or no words that can change it or fix it. The only thing we can do is deliver closure, and I believe that they've been happy they have that closure. Not knowing is extremely difficult.
Earlier you had said 74 total deaths, but the medical examiner's office is saying it's 68. Do you know why that is?
The total deaths confirmed are 74 in the county. Now, you have multiple agencies, so you have the Cape Coral Police Department, Fort Mye Police Department, Lee County Sheriff's Office, but as a whole, the exact count is 74. And I want to also touch on that too. Everybody wants that information. They want numbers because that's what catches the headlines. That's what the media wants to hear. Each number, as I said time and time again, is a loved one. It's not just 1 or 5. It's someone's family member. We're very cautious on how we deliver that information. The next of kin has to be notified, okay? The medical examiner has to confirm it 100%. And the rumors that are flying around, rumors of body bags and people being, hundreds of people being moved and this and that, I'm telling you, as I stand here, the facts are the facts. We are transparent, we investigate immediately, and we deliver information because it's so important for the great residents of this county to have factual information as quick as possible. And it is what it is. The numbers are 74.
Can you talk about, we're 3 months since Ian and we're just finding someone in the mangrove. Are you concerned that because we are getting deeper into them now, we will potentially find someone that may have been missing?
So 3 months later after Ian, we still find one of the deceased. Now we have one that's still missing. I'm concerned about everything every day. I'm concerned about the person whose home unfortunately washed away. We can rebuild a house, but I can't get their wedding album back. I can't get their loved one back. I'm concerned about the safety, as always. We still have deputies deployed in areas that were hit hard to make certain people are not looting. I made it very, very clear. Looters are not going to be tolerated here in the very beginning. I made it clear. You walk into someone's home, you get carried out. Simple. The residents of this county have law and order, and they deserve to live in a safe, secure environment with their families. Zero tolerance is zero tolerance. Now, moving forward, as we are digging in the mangroves, as we are cleaning things up, I'm always concerned about what we find. And we get constant reports from boots on the ground. I hope and pray that we don't have one more fatality. I hope and pray we can bring closure, hopefully in a safe way, with the person that's still missing to their family. I pray. I don't know if that's the case, but I am concerned about everything every day. As a sheriff, you probably sleep a couple hours a night because your mind is always racing. The only thing that I have is again, I praise the residents of this county who support us, who want law and order, who help us do our job. But most importantly, while I stand here delivering you this information, I praise the heroes of law enforcement, not just here, but all over the world, who kiss their mother, father goodbye, their husband and wife goodbye, their children goodbye. Some lost their homes, but they still go out every day and they do the job. They're the real heroes in this.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Thank you.